Well, I suppose the Saudi Arabians, besides having their foyer into a general sort of sports, the motorsports, and, well, I guess a bunch of other sort of sporting sort of ventures like UFC and whatnot, in order to sort of like ingratiate themselves with the Western world more and more. Now they're out here buying more and more video game franchises. A Saudi fund and Kushner's firm to buy games maker EA in a $55 billion deal. Oh man, who's ready for more fucking right wing billionaires and fucking, well, dipshits to basically just, I don't know, be the main fucking developers of fucking games or some shit? I mean, they're probably going to be working, like, I mean, are they going to, like, really interfere with anything that the developers want? But maybe not. Who the fuck knows? But here's the thing with like a lot of developers. A lot of them tend to be very, very fucking woke. Okay, wokies make the fucking best games. Okay, generally speaking, you can cope and fucking seethe about that. Conservatives who make games, most of them tend to be fucking dog shit. There's a couple that are good, right? There's a couple that break through and that are pretty solid, but for the most part, when conservatives have the main sort of like reins in terms of like creative pursuit and endeavor, that creative pursuit and endeavor tends to fucking, well, die. I'm very surprised. Like, was EA just struggling to make fucking profit? Like, I mean, in terms of scummy piece of shit fucking business practices, EA is pretty much like we're at the fucking top of the echelon. Like, these guys are fucking pieces of shit. When the loot box craze rather started happening after Blizzard put that shit into fucking Overwatch, these guys really fucking ratcheted up the temperature on that shit very, very significantly. But sort of like further corporate consolidation and bullshit going on within the games industry is gonna fucking choke out creativity. Now, I will be honest, a lot of modern games have been quite fucking good. 2025 has been a solid year for games, right? Even 2024, but it's more like a lot of like smaller studios and indie stuff. Nobody really likes any of the stuff that any of the AAA studios are putting out because again, it's just further and further corporate fucking consolidation, and it's just like, dog, nobody fucking likes any of that shit. Like, they put out just subpar, terrible, fucking goddamn products, and it's just like nobody wants to fucking play any of that. So it's like, ugh. It's one of those situations like, brother, ew, brother, ew, brother, ew. And I mean, this isn't the first foyer done here by Saudi Arabia. Scopely, which is also a Saudi run company, also acquired Niantic and Pokemon Go from Niantic, and now it's being run in particular by, well, fucking Scopely. And, well, if you know anything about fucking Pokemon Go, that shit's been basically fucking dying because the events are just like worse, the content is just worse, and it's just like it's fucking boring, man. But what do we have here? Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, an investment company run by the son-in-law of the President of the United States and a California-based private equity firm, have bought gaming industry giant Electronic Arts in the largest leveraged buyout in history, worth $55 billion. So again, like, who's ready for Jared Kushner along with the fucking goddamn Saudis and all these other, well, fucking right-wing dipshits to have more, I don't know, control over your fucking goddamn media and stuff like that? Oh, I sure am looking forward to that. I sure am, dude. Public Investment Fund, PIF, the $1 trillion Saudi venture that is increasingly buying these stakes in the global entertainment industry, formed a consortium with Jared Kushner's affinity partners and technology and media-focused investment firm Silver Lake. They reached a deal to pay EA shareholders $210 per share, a 25% premium over the stock price of the company before rumors of the deal circulated last week, even a premium over the all-time high stock price of more than $179 in mid-August. I'm still curious, like, why was this deal sort of able to go through? I don't think was EA starting to fail as like a company or something. Let me take a look at the stock price. I'm curious. EA stock price. I'm so curious. Well, it went down a little bit today. Let's take a look at the month. Jesus, well, it soared. Holy shit. Yeah, it went up like 30 fucking bucks. Why is that? I need a sort of broader sort of idea, I think. It's been going up. About the year. Dip there. Okay. That was Liberation Day, where there was a dip, obviously, and it's been going higher and higher, and they've been fucking soaring at this point. Well, I guess because of the deal that was just worked out, which is why it's fucking soaring. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, their stock price has been consistently going up. Like, there's been dips, obviously, because of like whatever controversies, but then it's been going further and further up. And then there's been this huge soar here in particular. Keep in mind the Saudi, the PIF, the Saudi Wealth Sovereign Wealth Fund, I believe has ownership in like I think every single like sort of entertainment medium. So besides sports, I think they're also in like Nintendo. They're also in like some other games companies as well. I don't know if they have like anything in like Tencent. I don't think so. It's basically it's them in fucking Tencent who seemingly have like some like percentage ownership in like every single like entertainment industry. I think throughout the fucking planet, which is not really great to be fucking goddamn honest. Like the issue with this is the further sort of corporate consolidation and the lower quality of product as a fucking goddamn as a sort of consequence, right? Because again, like instead of focusing on being able to make a high quality good like creative venture like a fucking video game, a lot of the sort of like AAA studios are more focused on trying to do everything possible to return money to their fucking shareholders, to have a return on that fucking investment. Which is why, generally speaking, the quality of games has been, well, shitting the fucking bed, for lack of a better term, within like the broader sort of AAA and now quadruple A fucking space. Like, what like recent AAA game has like been critically acclaimed or all that good? I can't really fucking think of anything. It's all been like B-list sort of, not B-list. I don't know if that's correct to say. Like B companies or something, or indies that have been producing significantly better stuff. Like I mean, Balatro was an indie game, and that's been a huge fucking success. And there's so many other indies you could talk about. Like Dave the Diver was also a fucking successful, pretty successful game for an indie company. Is Claire Obscura, right? Is an Indiana Jones AAA? I believe it's made by Bethesda. So yes. I don't know, like, was it critically acclaimed? I know a bunch of like streamers played it because they just like the Indiana Jones game, and it's also like a trend kind of a deal. I guess Borderlands falls in that category. Borderlands 4 has been pretty good. Like, I'm trying to think exactly. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess there's been some, but in terms of EA, like, their games are just pretty fucking dog shit, to be honest. Like, not really good at all whatsoever. Like, I'm trying to think of like what the most recent good EA game even was. I'll be quite honest, and I can't fucking think of one. I'll be quite honest. Like, I'm drawing a fucking blank, to be honest. So EA shares jumped by 15% on the initial rumors and have risen at least another 5% since the deal was confirmed on Monday, to trade at more than $200 per share on Tuesday. The deal takes the company private and is expected to close by the first quarter of the fiscal year of 2027, meaning roughly the spring or summer of 2026. So that's cool. Great. Fantastic. Oh man, it's time for the Saudis to have more sort of like control and corporate fucking goddamn consolidation in, well, more entertainment fucking mediums. I mean, that's great. Yeah, the new F1 game is a serious improvement, but not a banger. Gotcha, Boy Meets Mini. But the deal's close. EA's 36-year run as a publicly traded company will come to an end. It will no longer have to issue public quarterly reports, and its stock will be delisted from the NASDAQ. The deal is to be financed by approximately $36 billion in equity from the three sponsors, including a 9% stake in the company that was already held by the Saudi Wealth Fund and is rolled in. Yeah, from what I understand, isn't Mohammed bin Salman, isn't there like a puff piece talking about how he is a fan of video games? He likes playing fucking video games or something. Again, like, let's not forget who Mohammed bin Salman is. He is the exact same dude who hacked up a journalist, a Saudi Arabian American journalist, Jamal Khashoggi, who basically wrote pieces that were critical of Mohammed bin Salman, and he was, well, hacked up, put in a fucking bag, and thrown in a fucking freezer somewhere. And this was sort of, well, yeah, this was done with the help of Israeli fucking spyware. So, again, he is not a fucking good guy, Mohammed bin Salman. He is a very, very fucking evil person, and if he wants to have any fucking sort of stake in sort of, I want to say, like, position say within certain media properties, it's about having control of them overall. Like, that's what it's always been about with people like this. It's about fundamentally exercising control over the creative fucking process, generally speaking. A history of making $20 billion is provided by JP Morgan Chase in debt financing underwritten by the banking giant, about $18 billion of which will fund the deal's closing. EA said in a statement that its board of directors approved the transaction. The deal still needed to receive approval from stakeholders as well as regulatory authorities. Well, given the Trump administration, that shit's probably going to go through if I were to take a bet. The stakeholders are unlikely to turn down the transaction due to the significant cash profits it will deliver, and the deal is not believed to be facing antitrust issues, unlike Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Yeah, here's the problem with that. That's going to significantly come into question, and the reason why there was antitrust issues with Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard is because of, let's be fucking honest here, Lena Khan basically bringing a lot of antitrust suits and going ahead and trying to stop a lot of these fucking corporate mergers, which have exploded due to the fact that both the Republicans and the fucking Democrats just basically started allowing more and more of that stuff to go through. As has been consistently said before, the reason why a lot of corporations do not give a flying fuck fundamentally about free speech or rights or at all whatsoever is because for them, the profit motive is king. They just want to make all the fucking money that exists within the world. If all these corporations could combine together into one super hyper omega sort of megacorp that rules over the world, they would consolidate that far. Absolutely. Like, Marx fucking, broadly speaking, talked about this. Like, the sort of, like, proclivity for capital to want to further and further consolidate within fewer and fewer and fewer hands is basically endemic to fucking capitalism, fundamentally speaking. And, well, shit like this is going to more and more fucking contribute to that. And let's be fucking honest here. Like, you can't fucking have stuff like that without the state sort of like coming in and basically forming partnerships like this with the Trump administration in particular, right? They want all those fucking public-private fucking partnerships in order for them to have fundamental control over what is said and what is done within those fucking corporations. It is an inherent hamper on freedom and fucking free speech. It is an inherent hamper on creative fucking liberties, right? You're going to get overall fucking worse fucking products. Oh yeah, 1000% Boy Meets Minnie. Yeah, Korea and fucking Samsung, like, they're like this. And it's not good, people. Like, a lot of fucking outcomes in terms of broader sort of authoritarianism is because of a lot of, like, state significantly merging more and more with private fucking enterprise. As it is not a merger of direct competitors, but a financial transfer of ownership. I've admired their ability to create iconic, lasting experiences, and as someone who grew up playing their games and now enjoys them with his kids, I could not be more excited about what's ahead. Oh, I'm sure, Jared. Like, that's the main reason why you're fucking, along with the Saudis and some other, like, private equity fucking dumb fuckery, why you're fucking doing all this shit. Totally, bro. Of course. Who cultivated close ties with Arab leaders during his time at the White House, said about EA in a statement after the deal. EA makes huge game franchises like Battlefield, Sports FC football games, and Madden NFL, and owns studios like BioWare and Maxis that have made giant award-winning series like Mass Effect, The Sims, and The Sims respectively. For now, the company is to proceed with the same structure and schedule, with CEO Andrew Wilson remaining at the helm. Yeah, fucking Android Wilson. Very, very cool. Initial reactions from the gaming community have been mostly negative, with a number of journalists, streamers, developers, and users online expressing a mix of shock and dismay about the huge efforts of business decision on the rising gaming industry. Sorry to say, fucking capital G gamers TM, but this is inevitable and endemic with fucking capitalism. Capitalism will always have a proclivity to want to just basically corporately consolidate. This is the fucking system, baby. This is how it fucking works. And I mean, don't be fucking surprised if this is the fucking case. Like, people have been consistently talking about this for decades at this point, that this is the inevitable sort of byproduct of further and further and further corporate consolidation and wealth concentration in the hands of a smaller and smaller fucking few. This was always going to fucking happen, right? If it's not the Saudis and Jared Kushner, it would have been some other fucking right-wing dipshit. And I mean, it's very similar with the fucking TikTok deal, right? Like, it's also being controlled by a bunch of fucking goddamn right-wing fucking goddamn billionaires. And overall, like, with all this corporate consolidation and people trying to ingratiate themselves more and more with the West, that's why the Saudis are doing this, it's all going to lead to a creation of worse and worse and worse fucking products. And developers are going to be the main people who fucking suffer from this overall when they have to go through more crunch and more terrible fucking working conditions. Which is why, guess what? You have to crack down on them as aggressively and vociferously as possible, because this is not a sustainable model. It's going to inherently collapse in on itself, because, listen, as a certain musician once fucking said before going off the deep end, no one man should have all that power. And that's the main issue that is being brought up here. This concentration of wealth into the hands of fewer and fewer people is going to basically result in, well, lesser and lesser and just worse products overall being created. So, generally speaking, this is just bad. It's negative. I'm not going to be surprised if a lot of the quality of product that comes out of fucking EA that was already, I don't know, not being as good, like, not as critically acclaimed, not as good, it just ends up starting to get worse and worse. Like, I mean, the example that I brought up with Pokemon Go, quality events have just been getting worse. They're boring, they're uninteresting, and it's fucking dying, man. Like, media industries are going to just be the first ones that are going to suffer and die because of this, like, further and further fucking corporate capture and consolidation. Like, that's the main problem. But unfortunately, a lot of the fucking gamers TM didn't fucking recognize this, even after being consistently warned about this. But whatever, this is the current environment that we find ourselves in, and unless some form of antitrust, well, might not be for the case of EA, but if some form of, like, antitrust and fucking regulation doesn't fucking happen, all this whole system of wanting infinite growth for the sake of infinite growth is just going to inherently collapse in on itself. And it's going to happen inevitably, and it's going to be really, really bad. Don't think there's really much else to say besides, well, time for just basically the further corporate capture and consolidation of the video games industry, which has been in the making for the past decade at the very least.